What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Bat in the Hat podcast, where we dive deep into all things nerd. My name, of course, that's the wrong page. My name, of course, is Eric Morden, and with me, as always, is Matt. Just Matt. What's up, Matt?
Hey, I'm on the right page.
I read almost the secret identity from last week, and I was like, wait, I already did this one.
Our listeners would be like, jerk.
What's a fun thing about that?
Nope.
I thought it was going to be obvious, right? When I started doing this, this is the 38th episode. I've done 38 secret identities, and nobody seems to pick up on it. Like it's almost like I've had so many people be like, I thought your name was Roy. And I'm like, well, no, I used Roy Harper in that one episode. And it's like, oh, I thought your name was John. I'm like, when I did Jon Stewart, Green Lantern.
They're like, hey, Oswald.
Or the former host of The Daily Show. Like,
oh,
yeah, like Oswald Cobblepot. Did you think that was my name?
I really did, yeah.
You know, maybe it's me. You know, I just think maybe I didn't let the joke. I'm not doing the joke right. You know, whatever. But yeah, Eric Morin. That's my new real name.
You're doing fine.
It's, you know.
First of all, don't ever doubt yourself. You're probably messing it up, actually, yeah.
Oh man, we were on such a good track there.
I know.
We're on such an upslope.
We love the earth. That song's stuck in my head now.
So of course this is week 3 of we're in the midst of Mandalorian season 3, and
This is season 2.
What the fuck did I just say? Season 3?
Yes.
We're in the midst of Mandalorian Season 2. So we're going to be talking about Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3 tonight after we get through all of the juicy news and rumors that we got going on tonight. Matt, what do you got for us, buddy?
You want me to start off with the Justice League thing I just was talking about?
No, let's save that because we got that towards the end. Yeah, I do want to talk about that, though. Zack Snyder news, man. All right, let's just start. Let's just kick it off. LeVar Burton. He hasn't been tapped or anything, but I guess the internet is kind of going ham, hoping that LeVar Burton is going to replace Alex Trebek.
Now, when you say ham, you're using it as an acronym for hard as a correct?
Sure. Is that what ham stands? Is that what ham means?
Are you joking?
I never knew that. Is that a real thing?
Yes.
When people say going ham?
Yeah. Hard as a
I always literally think just about ham. I love ham.
I'm going turkey.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm...
Don't make me hit salami.
I don't remember what Vine that was, but it was like, say cheese. No, I'm vegan. Celery. Like something stupid, lettuce. No, but LeVar Burton, hopeful to replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy. I love LeVar Burton. I remember him when I was growing up. He was in Reading Rainbow. Yep, Reading Rainbow. He was in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. Was he Kunta Kinte in Roots? Was that LeVar Burton? I'm pretty sure that was LeVar Burton.
Yes.
Yeah, in Roots. What do you think? Do you think that he would be a good Jeopardy host?
Yeah, and I loved him in Community also. I don't know if...
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Superstar LeVar Burton.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I think he's got the,
good personality.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to go in there and try to be Alex Trebek, but
right.
People love LeVar Burton.
You know what? So. And I think that's a big reason people really liked when Drew Carey took over The Price is Right, because he didn't go in there trying to be Bob Barker. They were just like, oh, we like Drew Carey enough that, yeah, we'll watch Drew Carey.
Yeah, what freaked me out the most, though, is when he started doing The Price is Right, he lost all that weight.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, ha!
So he just recently did a, there's a show, like a comedy show about, it's comedians that just telling real stories. I think it's called This Isn't Happening. And the clips are on YouTube and it's very funny. It's through Comedy Central. And he was up on stage talking about how him and the guys from The Prices, or not The Prices,
Whose Line Is It
Anyways, how much drugs they do, and they love going to EDM festivals. Like apparently Drew Carey he goes to a lot of EDM and dance festivals, and he was just telling this such a raunchy, insane story, and you're like, this fucking guy hosts The Price is Right, and yet he's up here talking about
how many times has he been doing Plinko on The Price is Right, and he's just high on freaking cocaine.
Well, and I didn't get the vibe that was how it is, but you can tell this guy, in his spare time at least, really likes to trip. He was talking about he loves psychoactive drugs and doing shrooms and Molly and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's crazy. Not, I don't care, I don't judge, but
I mean, watch some of the skits on Whose Line Is It Anyway. It makes sense.
Really funny shit though. All right, we got Mads Mikkelsen of Hannibal. I know you watch Hannibal, right?
No.
You nenever watched Hannibal?
No,
that
not the
seems
show.
totally like your show.
I've
That's
seen
interesting.
all the movies.
So Mads Mikkelsen, who played Hannibal Lecter in the show Hannibal, he is confirmed to replace Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3 as Grindelwald.
Oh, they confirmed it.
Yeah. So that's happening. I wanted to mention it, but here's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen one of the Fantastic Beasts movies. I've seen half of the first one. I really am interested in the Johnny Depp drama. Like, I'm really interested in what's going on there because I have such like a stance on it, but I never watched Hannibal. So I don't give a fuck about this news any which way. I'm not going to damn Mads Mikkelsen for what's going on. It's not his fault.
No, I love him in the things I've seen him in. I think he's a fantastic actor.
What other stuff? Do you know what other stuff he's been in?
Rogue One.
Oh, fuck, you're right. He was in Rogue One. Yeah, he was really good in that too.
He was in Doctor Strange.
That was him?
Yeah.
The dude with the burnt eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, he's pretty versatile.
It always fucks me up whenever there's like an actor that's like been in shit and I just don't realize that that's the same person like in these different things. Yeah, I mean, for those like Fantastic Beasts fans, like I'm definitely a Harry Potter fan, but I just couldn't get into the Fantastic Beasts movie. So those Fantastic Beasts fans out there, like, are you upset? Are you happy about this? Is that somebody? Keep in mind, I like to ask the question that don't be like, no, I just want Johnny Depp. Okay, knowing that this is the situation, knowing that they have to replace Johnny Depp, if they had to replace it with anyone, are you happy that it's Mads Mikkelsen?
See, I'm curious because I saw the first one, Fantastic Beasts, and
Right.
I liked it. I thought it was a decent movie, but Johnny Depp was in one scene because it was like you didn't even know he was in it until the end.
That was the first one though,
Mhm.
but he was all in the second one.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, how big of a role did he have? Because all I saw in the first one,
the
he was in
second one
scene.
was called The Crimes of Grindelwald, so I think it was all about. I think, like, genuinely, and I don't mean that like condescending. I mean, I think that because I haven't seen it, but I think that whole movie revolved around.
That's what I figured. I was like, the second one, he had to have been in the entire thing.
Right?
So.
Yeah. He was in the first one though, in that last scene.
Yeah, there was a twist, like.
Right, where it was
Apparently-
like Colin Farrell turns into fucking
Exactly.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so it's like he was in it the whole time, but he literally was in like the last scene.
right,
of the
right,
movie.
as an actor,
yeah.
for sure.
So it was a cool twist.
That's interesting. Yeah, I just want to know. Let us know again in the comments and stuff on social media. Are you guys happy about it? If anyone had to replace Johnny Depp, who? I mean, is this who you
Amber
want,
Heard.
or who? Jesus, Amber Heard should just be Grindelwald.
She looks like Grindelwald.
She does look like Grindelwald.
She doesn't though. That's not.
She's so hot, but I
know,
hate her. I'm
but
so
I
mad
can't
at her.
stand her.
God, but I want to sleep with her. But whatever.
Whoa.
What? I'm kidding, baby. If you're listening. Comedian Sinbad recovers from a stroke. This is important because I've only seen Sinbad in one thing.
Was it the thing where he was the security guard for the president's kid when we were
Oh,
younger?
I have seen that. Holy fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I've seen him in two things. But more importantly, I've seen him in the classic and still maybe my second favorite Christmas movie
Turbo
ever.
Man.
Yep, Jingle All the
Jingle All the
Way
Way.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what an amazing... I just watched it. I watch it every year.
It's so funny.
But I'm gearing up to watch it again. By the way, just like to not skip out, like our hearts go out to you, Sinbad.
Yeah,
have a speedy recovery for sure. That's always like freaky when people who have been in the stratosphere of pop culture your entire life, whether they're super important to you or not, all of a sudden you realize, just like we have with Alex Trebek and Sean Connery and a lot of people so far, that they can die. You know what I mean? It's just, it stays out of your mind. I always say that the day that Will Smith dies, it's going to be like the worst and weirdest day ever. I don't know.
I don't even like thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to happen. But I love that movie. I mean, Jingle All the Way is for sure probably like my second favorite Christmas movie ever. And he's very funny. I have seen some of his stand-up, and just like you would expect, it's very raunchy, very, very punchy. But
I always love when you see people and stuff as a kid, like
right,
borderline Disney movies.
Robin
and then,
Williams.
yeah, and then you see their stand-up, and
then
you're
you
like,
see their
oh
stand-up.
my god!
Hearing Robin Williams say the F word for the first time was like
It changes you.
Yeah, it was a bizarre experience.
You think everything you ever knew was a lie.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh.
And I always respect people like Sinbad because he went with the I have one name and it's Sinbad. Like, he's Cher, he's Madonna.
He was in a random episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20.
From Matchbox 20?
Yeah,
I was about to say.
They were like in an insane asylum.
No shit.
And they were having hallucinations, and he was like, Sinbad and Rob Thomas were there. They're like, what are you talking about?
Rob Thomas is a very funny person. Like, it's kind of weird that you don't see him in more things, because I've watched a bunch of interviews. I used to be obsessed with Matchbox 20, and I watched a bunch of his like interviews. He's a funny fucking guy.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't, he just doesn't like do a whole lot of stuff.
Yep. Bob Saget was the one for me. Like, you said, Full House, and then he's like a dirty, dirty, dirty comic.
That's kind of like the rule of it, right? Like, everybody judges other comics like based off of Bob Saget. Like, when they do the whole family, he didn't want to do Full House,
right?
Because he didn't want that. But
and then he did America's Funniest Home Videos also.
Yeah,
like,
but and it's so strange because he was so perfect as Danny Tanner, and he's disgusting.
Yeah,
like
he is like a nasty comic.
Yeah, it's not even just like raunchy. It's like it makes you. I remember being uncomfortable the first time I watched Bob Saget stand up. I was like, holy fuck.
I'm trying to remember what movie it was. Oh, Dumb and Dumber, the sequel.
Yes, yeah.
Where he's the dad and he's like, there's shit everywhere. Shit on the walls.
There was also like you remember Jamie Kennedy, like the actor, but
yes,
he had this I guess when YouTube was first getting started, he was doing a lot of YouTube stuff, and he did a song called Rollin' with Saget, and I don't know if you ever saw that, but it's a wild music video, dude. It's like a rap song kind of thing, but it's really fucking weird.
I'll always give Jamie Kennedy credit because for doing Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That movie is so underratedly funny.
You know, he has a whole documentary out about how shitty his career has been. It's called Heckler, and it's literally a documentary about how, whether it's his stand-up or how he can't get cast for roles, because he was in Scream, which he was phenomenal in, and then Malibu's Most Wanted and a couple other things. But he's a dick. He's just a douchebag. I mean, he's one of those.
I didn't know that.
He's one of those Pauly Shore. I'm trying to think of other small people. Andy Dick, kind of people who like don't matter but think that they really matter.
Yeah.
And so he just can't get cast,
and the only one sabotaging their own career is themselves.
It's exactly. And so he made a whole documentary called Heckler about dealing with hecklers on stage. And I thought it was going to be one of those things where you watch, because I like watching heckler videos on YouTube. And I thought it was going to be one of those things where you see comedians doing like really great comebacks. And there were some, but it also was a whole documentary whining about how hard his career is. Oh my God. I'm like, Jesus, dude, get off it.
It's funny you said that, because I have seen, like, I tend to try to watch a lot of stand-up, but when they fire back at the audience, like if somebody thinks they're going to be funny, and like the good comics, they just, like Bill Burr, holy
Bill
cow.
Burr's amazing. Joe Rogan, really good at it. There's I can never remember his name. His whole YouTube page is surrounded, like, he's built his reputation on he fucking destroys hecklers. And he's this redheaded guy, and he's kind of funny. I don't think his stand-up is great, but he does have a way of just disassembling hecklers, and they're usually drunk, and they're usually awful, like just people you know that you wouldn't want to know in real life, and he just tears them apart. I think that's always
Eddie
really
Murphy
funny.
was really good at it too.
Really? I've never seen Eddie Murphy do that.
Well, he's like, the thing is he'll like add them into the show rather than make fun of them. Like, he'll be talking about something, and then somebody will say something, and he brings it full circle with a joke from earlier, and you're just like, how does he do that? He's my favorite comic, honestly. I think Raw is the funniest stand-up comedy special ever made.
I haven't seen Raw in years. I remember seeing it when I was young, and I was definitely too young at that time to understand it.
Yeah,
and that's the reason I haven't revisited.
I probably watch it like once a week.
Really?
It's so funny,
and he's phenomenal. Like, I love. I'm sure you've seen, if you love him that much. Did you see the My Name Is Dolomite? Did you watch that?
No,
when it came out on
I've
Netflix?
been meaning to, but I never got around to it.
So I was really excited that Eddie Murphy is coming back into movies. You know, we have Coming to America 2, and we have he did My Name Is Dolomite. He has some other things happening. I heard there's a Daddy Daycare sequel he's working on and stuff, which I actually really love the first Daddy Daycare. But I just started watching and so I watched My Name Is Dolomite, and it was amazing. And it really just kind of reminds you how amazing Eddie Murphy is. I mean, so dude is fantastic. Dude. Just like Dave Chappelle. When Dave Chappelle started coming back, and now he's really introspective, and like every comedy show he does makes you think about shit. and it's just like
you're like, this is dangerous.
This
like,
is the
you're
guy
way
who,
too funny to make
what was
me think.
the? Did he do How High? That was Dave Chappelle, right? What was the movie he did? The stoner comedy. Half Baked. Thank you.
How High was Method and Red.
Yeah, that's right. Method and Red. The but Half Baked. Like you're kind of in that. Like this is the guy who did Half Baked. You know, really good shit. Moving on though, Stan Lee's outfit. Did you see this? Stan Lee's outfit that he wore in his cameo in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is up for auction. So the outfit he wore on screen in Spider-Man is up for auction, and the starting bid is $4,000.
That's it?
Which I know seems low because that's clothes that Stan Lee wore.
Somebody's gonna buy it and just wear it around.
Well, and I think that they start it low to get the ball rolling, but come on, this is gonna go.
I thought you were gonna say it started at $4 million.
I mean, it's gonna go for money. I don't think it's gonna get anywhere near the $1 million price range.
But I thought you were gonna say like a really obscure movie, like it was like his cameo in Fantastic Four 2: Rise of the Silver Surfer. And
so,
like, huh?
You know what's funny also is that I'll watch random movie because I just like revisiting movies, especially superhero movies, and I'll watch random Marvel movies that are not MCU movies, and I'll see him pop up, and I'll be like, "Fuck, I forgot he literally did a cameo in every movie."
Yep.
Was he in all the X-Men movies? Was he in? I don't remember him being in
Fox,
any of them.
So I don't.
Oh,
think
I
he
guess
was.
yeah, because they were Fox properties.
Because I was thinking, because one of my favorite non-MCU movies other than Blade was The Punisher with Tom Jane.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. I don't think he was in that either.
I don't think he was. But really, and of course, my favorite cameo is always going to be two of them. Captain Marvel, because he was holding the Mallrats script when he was on the train. Yeah. I thought that was such a phenomenal little touch.
I like when she smirks at him, like she's almost being like, "Oh, it's Stan Lee."
It's Stan. But so Mallrats, but Into the Spider-Verse, man.
Yeah,
he sells Miles the Spider-Man costume, and I thought that was such a phenomenal cameo.
I loved his cameo in Homecoming when Peter's trying to solve random crimes. So he beats up the guy trying to break into his own car, and he's like,
I was about to say,
"You better not make me come down there, punk."
Yeah.
But what makes it great is his wife is the lady.
Was that really his wife?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yep. That's why
that's
I like that
amazing.
one so
And
much.
I was trying to think. No, I mean he's just phenomenal, and that was really good. His cameo. I was thinking of animated cameos he did in the Spider-Man game. He did a cameo.
Yeah.
He was like a waiter
in the 2018 PS4
in the PS4 game. Yeah, he was like a waiter or the host.
Yeah, because you didn't see him till the end, right? Wasn't it in the final sequence?
It was actually close to the beginning. It was the first time that MJ and Peter like sat down together after in the game they had broken up like 6 months ago. So they're like, want to grab a bite. He's like, want to grab a bite, and they go to that diner.
I think that's the end.
No, that's super close to the beginning because you work with MJ through.
Or maybe they do it again at the end.
Oh,
is
maybe.
What I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, but they sit down and Peter gets the sirens go out. She's like, "You better go," and he leaves. And
you're right.
Stanley's like, "You guys are such a cute couple." I love that.
I have a Spider-Man Miles Morales waiting for me at home.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm dying to buy. I just haven't had the money to buy it, but
yep.
I am dying to play that fucking game. I'm not going to get a PS5 anytime soon, but I'm so grateful that they made it available for purchase on PS4.
What's sad is I know you're saying you won't get it anytime soon, like as if you had a choice. Like none of us are going to get one anytime soon. Can't.
Is it really that hard? I haven't been keeping up with that. Is it?
Yep.
So what's also the deal? Let me ask you here, because we don't have a super long show like planned, so we can kind of riff a little bit.
You want to riff?
Just a little bit, just a little,
yeah,
a little bit. Give it a beat, boys. Free my soul.
Nice.
What is what's the deal with like when they were dropping on Walmart at like these specific like 5 times throughout the day?
So they were trying to do a staggered release so they could give more people an opportunity to try to get them.
Wouldn't that crash the site though? Because everybody would try getting in at those exact times.
Yeah, and the sad part is with Walmart and pretty much any other retailer online, the bots would buy them up in like seconds. Because for some reason, you know how we have to do captchas on like everything online where they're like, which image has a car? And then you have to click all the images with a car in it.
Yes.
To verify you're a human. Yeah. There's none of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like these bots will buy all of them in seconds, and then those are the ones you'll see they'll resale and all that stuff.
So we're in. I'm part of a group called the North Florida Collectors Club, and it's very often you see people like a new McFarlane DC Multiverse toy drops, right? Or a Turtle toy drops or something. And they post pictures because they went out at 4 a.m. on the release date and they went to 7 different Targets and they bought 30 of them. You know what I mean? And a lot of people hate like they get so mad. They're like, you're making it harder for the rest of us. And because there's a lot of people who are out there collecting to collect because they just want to have it. And those guys buy them all and then drive up the price. I kind of see both sides.
Yeah, I was gonna say yes and no.
I don't get mad at the hustle. Like, dude's out there. I mean, he's working. You can go out there too. You know what I mean? But at the same time, as somebody who I collect comics not to flip or sell, just because I want them. I like collecting first appearances and stuff. So I guess I see both sides. But I saw somebody posted a picture in the North Florida, and it was a room full of, it had to be 100 PS5s.
Damn.
And it was like half digital, half disc. And there was like 100 of them. Seriously, all stacked up in a big pile.
It's crazy.
And I was like, what? And they were like, more coming soon. I'm like, more? Like, what the fuck? And people were flaming this person in the comments. They were just getting mad.
I have a friend that he put up a picture that he had like 6 or 7 Xbox One Series X's. And it was like a real...
Right.
And he had them stacked. Only difference is he said, I'll sell them first come, first serve. And he literally was just selling them for like what the price is.
For the retail?
So I thought that was cool. Like he was just like, hey, I just got as many as I can get and I'm going to share the wealth. Like,
so I had a couple friends who put in a couple different pre-orders for different places and ended up getting like 3 of them because they expected, oh, I may get one if I'm lucky.
Yeah, and then they got all of them.
And then they got all of them. So that's one thing. But, you know.
I wish I had that money where it's like, oops, I got all 4 PS5s. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, oh, my God, I can't pay
$3,000
rent.
I just need to drop right now.
I can't pay my bills.
So this is a really cool piece of news. The Fresh Prince. I didn't know. So I knew there was going to be a Fresh Prince reunion, right? And the trailer dropped this week. And the trailer was really just like a quick cut behind the scenes thing. And it was really, really beautiful. And if you're a Fresh Prince fan like I am, like a lot of people who grew up in my age are, I'm excited. We're excited. And then, not only did I forget that it was happening and the trailer drops, but then it's like streaming November 19th. I'm like, fuck, that's Thursday. Like, it's coming out now.
What day is it now?
Well, like, I think, especially with COVID, we're kind of in this age where you're just expecting everything to be delayed.
Yep.
And then they drop a trailer and it's something, again, I completely forgot about. And then it's like, boom, Thursday, fucking get it, you know? And I'm like, hell yeah. Oh, it's not, just for those out there, it is on HBO Max, which has paid for itself 9 billion times over since I've gotten it. I stay on HBO Max. I don't even go on Netflix or Disney Plus unless I'm watching The Mandalorian or... Oh my God, I love Disney Max, and I can't wait. Or HBO Max, I can't wait for the Fresh Prince. Were you a Fresh Prince fan?
Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, but I didn't see every episode or anything like that.
Oh,
yeah,
I was obsessed. Like growing up, I also, and it's probably why now I stay up till 4 a.m, like every night. I'm just a night owl, always have been. When I was a kid, I hated the idea of going to sleep. Because when you wake up, you have to go to school, and then you have responsibilities, and you have shit, you know what I mean? So I would starve myself. I think that's what a lot of us did. I would starve myself of sleep. And staying up at night, Nick at Night, was usually 5-6 episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I used to watch The Wonder Years on Nick at Night.
Really?
Yeah. And The Brady Bunch.
Well, which one was the Wonder? I can pick. Fred Savage was out. Yeah, fuck.
But an interesting point about something you just said. How like with COVID, we expect everything to be delayed.
Right.
Now it's getting out of hand, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I took this next one personal. Because even the stuff that did finish filming, they're like, we're gonna not release it for a long time.
And so the reason that they're doing that is because they don't want to release them to streaming.
Yep.
And nobody's going to movie theaters. We're still not at a point where a lot of people, even the people who are getting sick of like, I believe in the COVID. Obviously, I believe in the virus. I know that we need to be safe and social distance and do all these things. But I'm still getting sick of having to wear a mask. I'm getting sick. Like, it's just tiresome, right?
Yeah.
Even people like me who are getting like I don't want to go to a fucking theater. I did go to a theater to see Tenet, and I really do like that they do the distant seats now just for anxiety's sake. Like, not having to be next to people. Like, it was a nice experience. So I don't know how to feel about it, but they don't think that. I mean, how many big movies did they try to put out? Tenet didn't make shit, dude.
Yeah.
And Tenet was a big movie, big budget movie.
Well, it's driving me nuts because like, and this is just for selfish reasons, but like I like to buy movies on Vudu and all that, and I look forward to like new releases.
You are literally the only person I know who uses Vudu, and I love it.
You're welcome. But there's no new releases, like
right,
because there's no big new movies. But at the same time, kind of like what you said, it's like, well, we can't. There really is no normalcy. And a lot of us don't want to go to the theaters now.
Right.
And a lot of us didn't really want to go before COVID.
Well, and you know me, I if I could get out of going to a theater before COVID, I would.
So
I don't like going to theater.
I dig it when they do the whole like home release stuff.
I love
but nobody wants to do that because they're just like, oh, well, we're trying to make a crap load of money, which I can understand. Anyways, the reason I brought all this up is because they delayed the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Fuck, are you serious?
And I was looking so forward to it.
That's
I could not wait.
Right? That's done. The or it's
it was supposed to come out in like February.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
February of next year, you mean?
Not that's only like 3 months from now. So
well, again, they're officially now because of WandaVision's push, which I don't understand. I don't know if I understand the WandaVision push because it was already going to a streaming platform.
Yep.
Maybe they just they have to line it up a certain way with the movies, which I'll totally understand. But 2020 officially 0 MCU releases
for the first time ever.
For the
right?
first time, I think they said for the first time the last year was like 2009.
Well, they said since the birth of the MCU, this is the first time.
This is the first year.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy to think about.
Which because I was like, well, what about Endgame? And I was like, oh God, that was a lot longer ago than I thought it was. Yeah. And that was the last thing we got, I think.
Spiderman.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah. Which still feels so far away, so far, like so long ago.
Yeah.
Peter I cannot say his name. Peter Stormare, he played Satan in Keanu Reeves' Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
He said on Twitter that they are currently in production. Now, so I'm going to paraphrase this. He confirmed, quote unquote, that a sequel to the Keanu Constantine is in the works. And the way he did that was he posted a Twitter or an Instagram pic of him, and then it had something to do with Constantine from the first movie. I think it was like one of those blurbs. It was like a fun fact about the movie. And his caption just said, sequel currently in the works. And that's all it said. And he hasn't fucking illuminated on that at all. So nobody knows if he was joking, but the internet is going crazy because, one, I hated Keanu Reeves' Constantine. And I'm sorry. I know that everyone else seemed to love that movie. Let me just say this. I was talking about this, and I know that I'm going to get canceled, whatever. But I don't think Keanu Reeves is a good actor.
No, that's common knowledge.
Okay.
He's a crappy actor.
I love Keanu Reeves because we all love Keanu Reeves because we all know he's a great person. We all know that he's interesting and kind, and he's just a good dude. But I don't think he's a good actor in almost anything. I was even watching the Bill and Ted sequel, which I very much loved. I enjoyed it a lot. But he's just it was made for him. He's a shitty actor.
Yeah. And that's why he was perfect for John Wick, because he gets like 2 lines per film.
Right, because now body language and stuff like in John Wick, he's phenomenal at that.
Well, obviously, in combat, because that's all him. So.
Yeah, he's very, very good at that stuff. So kudos to him. But
kudos.
I didn't think that I didn't like the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie, and now again when we're looking at the maybe it was just Shia LaBeouf, but looking at
it's Chaz Kramer,
looking at the DCEU going forward, I want a more accurate.
I want the guy from the series.
No, I don't like him either.
What was his name? Matt Jones or
I don't know. I don't fucking like that guy. But when you watch like the animated movie Justice League Dark Apocalypse War,
this is gonna be funny if you say you love that version.
I love that version. Why?
That's the same guy. The dude that does his voice is the same guy.
I know it's his voice. However,
and he looks just like him.
I don't like his face. I don't know what it is. I just don't like his face.
Okay.
His hair, I don't know. Maybe that's just me hating.
I was waiting for you to be like, I love the animated
maybe one. I know that that's him because he's done the voice in a whole bunch of the animated stuff.
He's done the voice in my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Maybe it's just me hating on attractive people. However, he's got a bitch face, and I'm not a fan of it. Also, I think that the writing for that movie was much better than the writing they give him for like the CW shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that the version when they let him cut loose and be a dick, like a true dick, that's the Constantine that I want. And I want him to be British. And when him and Captain Boomerang were like competing, like Aussie versus Brit, and calling each other wankers, it was just so fucking funny, man. I loved it. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, this is cool. Sylvester Stallone confirmed on Instagram that he is going to be in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. He did a little video saying, "I'm on my way to the set to do Suicide Squad."
It's getting to the point now where it would be shorter to say who's not in the Suicide Squad.
Big cast, man.
It's all of characters I don't give a crap about.
Well, that's like, come on, that's the point of the Suicide Squad.
I know, but like part of me is like, I don't care to see this at all. But I bet you it's going to be awesome. I bet you it will be great.
I'm very surprised at that, because even though there's a billion characters in here I don't give a fuck about, which they do on purpose because they're all going to die.
He's going to kill everybody.
Even he said don't get too attached to any of these characters.
Yeah. He'll probably do something ballsy and kill. I bet you Rick Flag dies.
I think that big names are going to drop.
But I'm wondering, I don't know if he's going to kill Harley.
I bet. I think it's going to be Harley.
I think they should all
I also think King Shark's going to die, which is going to piss me off because I love King Shark.
I was really hoping Idris Elba would have been damn like Deathstroke or somebody.
Or just
Bronze Tiger, something like that.
That's what I wanted. I wanted him to be fucking Bronze Tiger. He would have been perfect for that role too. You saw Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay. Mm-hmm. That version of Bronze Tiger is just so self-righteous and so like, I'm not a bad guy, but I hated Michael J. White in Arrow as Bronze Tiger.
I don't know. I thought that was fine. I think the show just wasn't good for him.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I just thought it was a weird version, and I love Michael J. White.
Yeah, he's great.
But I don't know. But yeah, Sylvester Stallone. So we don't know who he's gonna play, but I was thinking, I was like, that's kind of weird, and then I remembered he was in Guardians as well. Yeah. And it's also funny because we have at the shop a first appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't remember if it's in a book called Guardians of the Galaxy, like Guardians 1, but we have it on the wall. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, this is so weird because you got to remember, I'm not like a Marvel aficionado. I'm not like a Marvel, like I know, like historian the way I can DC, but I'm like, who are they? And he and Tony was like, these are the original Guardians. He said at the end of Guardians 2, when you have all the ships and you have like Sylvester Stallone and Yondu and all them, he was like, those were the original. I'm like, no fucking way. That's an Easter egg. I just didn't know. He's like, yep, you just had no idea.
I'm going to pretend like I knew that the whole time. You can tell in my voice. I'm like, big time. I'm literally letting you feed me the information. I'm like,
yeah, fuck. You didn't know that? I just thought that was really cool. So Sylvester Stallone, I'm excited to see that. Nobody could ever make me not love Sylvester Stallone. I think he's amazing. Chris Pratt is confirmed to return as Star-Lord in Thor: Love and Thunder, which is going to be cool. I don't know if that's just going to be because at the end of Endgame, Thor went off with the Guardians.
Yeah, as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
because he's going to be in, they said Hemsworth's confirmed to be in Guardians 3.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know if any of this means like they'll be in the opening sequence.
Right.
And then that's it. That's what I figured.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's but the way that they announced Chris Pratt coming made it seem like he's going to have like a role in the movie.
It's interesting that they said it's only him. Yeah, so far, at least. And I'm like, well, maybe there's something to do in the story about
I will say that Zoe Saldana and even Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel, they don't get near the attention that Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista get for those movies. It's kind of interesting. Zoe Saldana seems like a very... I don't want to say forgettable because I think she's amazing in her role, but the way people like in the media treat her character, it just seems almost forgettable, you know, which is a shame because I think she's phenomenal.
And she's very attractive.
Oh, gorgeous. Beautiful woman. New, let's see, the new DC Future State. So a couple episodes back, we talked about DC Future State. Matt, you weren't here for that, but DC Future State basically is in January and February. It's a 2-month event that DC is doing where they're discontinuing all of their comic lines just for those 2 months and replacing it with the Future State. So what it is for 2 months, all of these books are based in the near and far future. So you get a little bit of a stretch between the near and far future. So there's new characters, there's people replacing mantles, like there's a new Batman, there's new, like who kind of like between what's going on now and like where Batman Beyond would be, right? So it's kind of bridging that gap. And one of the characters people are really excited about is a new Wonder Girl who turns into, I believe she in like this event, she'll go from Wonder Girl to Wonder Woman. She's a new she's Brazilian. Her name is Yara Flor, and already this is the fastest I've ever seen this happen. Already she has a CW show in production now.
Dang.
So people are really excited about her role as the new Wonder Girl, which I guess we've had Donna Troy and Cassie Sandsmirk or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I was gonna say all I know is Donna Troy.
Donna Troy, the
Titans.
blonde one who came after Donna Troy, Cassie something, and I think she dates like Tim Drake. Her and Tim Drake, Robin, her together. But I just think that's interesting because like so we've gotten, especially in the last couple of years, we've gotten a lot of really amazing like new characters, right? But this is the fastest I have ever seen a like somebody go from, and it's not, the book hasn't even come out yet.
To me, that just indicates they have long-term plans for the character already fleshed out. So they're just like, whew.
Or, and you know how the CW works, they were just like, man, we love the idea of this, and somebody was like popping off. I have this idea and this, we should totally try to do this.
Right.
And I think that's cool. I also I've been watching Doom Patrol finally because I just couldn't get around it the first time. I still
haven't gotten to it. I hear how great it is.
I couldn't enjoy it. It is phenomenal. It's very well written. It's very fun. It feels a little long-winded. Like this first season, it's like, fuck, this could have been over in 8 episodes.
Yeah. I did like their episode in Titans. Like I really enjoyed the characters. I thought it was
which
really
is
cool.
Never mentioned again.
Yeah.
They never mentioned Beast Boy once. It's kind of interesting how it's like never ever talked about. But it's a good show for sure. But then I noticed that again, Guggenheim and Greg Berlanti, part of that. They were part of Titans there, and I'm like, oh, so my question, I don't know why I never made that connection, because we were always wondering about how, because they're gonna show run the HBO Max Green Lantern, and I'm like, oh, I guess they already have experience doing shows that aren't part of like that CW verse, you know, the Greg Berlanti verse. So I'm excited. I really, really like the idea of this new Wonder Girl. I just like when we get new cool characters that are gonna, you know, who knows what they're gonna be. They could be anything at this point. All right, so let's get into Zack Snyder news, man. We got a little bit of Zack Snyder news, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the Mandalorian. Zack Snyder has teased his Martian Manhunter with some concept art as well as storyboards he put out on Twitter and Instagram.
I thought he actually showed a photo like on his phone of the actual
it was like a concept art
still.
Oh,
was it?
Yeah,
because from a distance I was like, is that
wow. Yeah, and to me it looked exactly like the Martian Manhunter from the Supergirl show.
Right.
Yeah, it looked very similar. Not that that's bad. I thought that the design in Supergirl was pretty
good.
It
looked cool.
You know,
that's a hard character to try to.
It's a hard character to fuck with, right?
Yeah,
like it's a pretty solid. Like what can we do without making it absurd?
Right.
So, I'm excited. I think that the who they had cast was pretty phenomenal. I think that I think he put it out because that is like confirming he's not going to make an appearance in the Justice League Snyder Cut. I don't know. The way that, again, I don't know if that means he is or isn't, but the way that Zack Snyder put it out there is like, this is what could have been, you know, like.
Well, I always dug the idea because who they said is Martian Manhunter's been in it from the beginning.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's
I
really
just
cool.
watched Man of Steel the other night, and I was like, hey, that's fucking Martian Manhunter.
Hey.
Oh, like, hey, that guy right there. Zack Snyder also talked about, so this is the big Zack Snyder news, and it kind of couples with what you were telling me about, so I'm going to let you talk about that here in a second. But Zack Snyder, so you guys remember when Zack Snyder did the announced the Snyder Cut, right? He was doing a live stream for fans, like Patreon supporters and people that were part of whatever club, and he was doing a live stream, and he brought Henry Cavill on, and he was like, you might as well tell him, mate, we're doing a fuck, because Cavill is like British or some shit.
I know, I was trying to figure out, though, I was like, are you Irish?
Yeah. So they announced the Snyder Cut. So he did the same thing, kind of. He was doing one of those fan streams, and I think it's cool because he's like interacting with fans and he's just talking to them, and he kind of laid it out, especially by his verbiage, not only movies he wanted to do, he said movies that I have planned for the DCEU currently. So do you remember the rumors we were talking about, y'all? The rumors we were talking about that I think it was last week or the week before, that HBO Max is so happy with what he's been doing, so pleased with what he's been doing, that they already are signing him up for a sequel. as well as further movies, this is the further movies they might be talking about, because not only was he talking about a sequel to Justice League, and again, he kept saying that I have planned a sequel to Justice League where we're going to get a lot of the stuff. He's going to expand his, but he talked about doing a live action adaptation / interpretation of The Dark Knight Returns. And a lot of y'all are like, because technically Batman v Superman had a lot of those elements. However, he wanted to do a true, gritty Ben Affleck. And one of my favorite things is the Catwoman that he was going to have, again, an older Catwoman, was Carla Gugino, who I love so much. Have you watched the Haunting of Hill House and the Haunting of Bly Manor? She's in both of them, and she's phenomenal.
I love her, though.
Oh,
she's
gorgeous.
Awesome.
I still remember watching Son-in-Law when I was a kid. Pauly Shore, Son-in-Law. You remember that?
Yep.
That was the first thing I ever saw her in. And Entourage, and again the Haunting show. She's a phenomenal.
I was
actress.
fond of her work in Sin City, if you recall.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
That's why when he was like, "Oh, I want her to play Catwoman," I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
Whew.
So, talk a little bit about what you had read earlier.
Yeah, so we've all heard that. Well, I say we've all. There's always been I guess if you want to call them rumors or whatnot, that Justice League would be released in multi-parts. Typically, that multiple is 4. So I just read an interview that Snyder did, and he said he wants to release it in 6 with an epilogue. And whatever. The thing that drives me nuts about this is it makes me feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's going to be multiple releases, right? So, like, when it finally drops, I want to be able to try to binge it all. And I bet you it's going to be like part 1 released.
Oh, no, I can guarantee
today.
They're going to do it weekly.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck. I
well,
hate that.
Let's hope that they're going to do it weekly. I hope it's not like part 1 drops in, September, part 2 drops in October.
The fact that they're only an hour long each, I can't imagine they would do that. That would piss everybody off.
Yeah, so he wants to do it in 6 parts with an epilogue. He also said that he wants to show it in IMAX theaters in black and white.
Dude, I'm down for that. As long as that's not the only option we get, I'll watch that fucking movie in black and white. Well,
it's just awesome. Like what they did with Logan. Like when you bought it, when it came out on Blu-ray, you could get like a black and white version, and I feel like that movie would be really good in black and white.
Logan?
Yeah. But I wouldn't have wanted to see that movie for the first time in black and white.
No, 100%. So. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that, dude. I mean, you guys know that I'm here. I am here.
I can see him. He's right here.
Snyder cut like rumors, and for Zack Snyder, I love Zack Snyder. If I had a dream interview right now, it would be talking to Zack Snyder, and
he gets a lot of shit, man. But like, he's really
again
good.
Because
I feel like he cares a lot.
He's not afraid. So he's a fan, first of all, again, which is important. That's my beef with Nolan. Was he's not, and that's not my only beef with Nolan, but he
it's because he's British, and
is it fucking Christopher Nolan British?
Everybody's British.
Yeah, everybody is.
I don't
British.
know. He might be from like Nebraska.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But no, he's a fan, and he's also not afraid to talk some shit. Like when people are kind of getting at him, he'll talk shit on social media, and I love it.
And I love it because people always get all butthurt over it.
Yeah,
and it's just like, you started it.
You're not supposed to be a dick. It's like, well, do you think I'm fucking Walmart?
He's like, kiss my ass.
I don't have a customer service department, bro. Like, fuck off.
Except he does it right. Like McFarlane does it, where I just want to punch him in the face.
Really? Mm-hmm. You don't like McFarlane?
No.
Are we talking about the same McFarlane, Todd McFarlane?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like that
guy. I think he's abrasive for sure, but I do. I just love him.
Dick and a half.
I hate Rob Liefeld for the same reason. He's a fucking asshole. But Rob, if you're listening,
you know what? I might actually be thinking of Liefeld.
You're a fucking asshole.
I might be thinking of Liefeld.
Yeah, the creator of Deadpool, Rob Liefeld. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I think I am thinking of him.
Yeah,
he's like a whole dick and a half. Right?
Yeah, whole dick and a half.
Okay, I'm sorry, Todd. My bad. I was just getting
But no, I think it's cool. I also think that he is really good at again just speaking his mind and standing up to the studios and being like, no, this is fucking what I want to do. Like, why are you guys messing with it? You know? The only thing I've ever disagreed with him on is the, when he said Batman kills, guys, get over it. I'm like, that's kind of a defining character quality about him that you're wrong about. However, the Batman that he's trying to do, the Batman at that stage, like, I get where he's going, but to say a blanket statement like Batman kills, guys, get over it, no, that's the whole fucking point of Batman.
It's funny. It's funny though, because every live action interpretation of Batman has killed.
Yeah,
it may not be direct murder.
No,
But
you're right.
Like Keaton freaking tore some people up. Like he dropped some bodies.
Yeah.
Especially in his damn Batmobile. Like he just and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, Batman v Superman was the worst of it. He was plowing through shit with that tank. But no, I'm excited. But other than that, dude, please tell me you watched The Mandalorian. Did you watch The Mandalorian?
I absolutely did.
Yeah. Tell me that wasn't the best episode so far.
It was so far, like in this season, or like in the whole show?
No, not in the whole show, but in the season for sure.
I really dug episode 1 because of Timothy Oliphant and all that. But
yeah,
you're probably right. Like just because of the action and who was in this one.
I'm with you, but this one had a lot of like the oh fuck moments that
Yeah,
I think that
when you see 4 Mandalorians,
right,
freaking laying waste to like 1,000 people, it's pretty awesome.
Not only did we meet 3 new Mandalorians, and they had an adventure together. The child got swallowed by a giant octopus thing, which freaked me out.
I think the eggs got humanized for him at the end. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you felt about that.
The humanized? What do you mean?
Yeah, when he saw the baby hatch. So little baby Yoda was looking at the eggs like he wanted to eat them, right?
Right,
well,
right.
In the tank, one of them hatched. A little frog came out, and he was like, "Oh!" And then he's sitting there playing with the baby with the parents.
Oh, that's right.
So I think he understood. Like, I don't know. I'm looking way into it, but I was just like,
no, I like it. You're in.
Like,
you're in for the character development, man. That's great. But that was the first time I was like, fuck, the baby was like, it's in peril. I was freaking out. But we met 3 new Mandalorians. We learned new lore. Like this whole show has been adding new lore, and then we find out that his version of the Mandalorian, his group, is a group of zealots.
Yeah, they're the ones that are
the crazy like they're
ones.
Religious zealots.
That's awesome. That flipped everything. I was like, oh.
And what Tony brought up, which was a great point, was she was like, I was born on Mandalore. Like, I'm a true
She's
Mandalorian.
Like, I am legit Mandalorian, dog.
Like, yeah, like, I'm from that west side, son. But like, it was so interesting to find out that this is the way, that we've been hearing about, that we've been chanting.
Yeah.
And
they're a cult.
They may be the Westboro Baptist Church of Mandalorians, which is kind of nuts to think about.
COVID-19.
Yeah. So not only that, but then at the end, he's like, "Can you direct me to the Jedi?" And she says, "Go to this planet and you'll find Ahsoka Tano."
Yeah.
Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars,
right.
And who's we've been waiting for, who I believe is being played by Rosario Dawson, who I love. And it was just a whole episode of like, fuck.
Oh, they called the Darksaber by its name. They called it the Darksaber, which was pretty cool.
Which I believe that's what she was looking for, right? That's what. Yeah. So they were trying to obtain that, and just the fact that they were full on fucked, and the general was like, "You know what to do. Long live the Empire!" And he shoots his 2 pilots, and is just ready to tank the whole thing. Like, gosh, it was such that. The first 2 episodes to me were great, but they were filler, of course. This is the first one where I was like, yes, there was so much like development. I feel, I just have so much now to look forward to, and so many more questions. The Timothy Oliphant episode was phenomenal, but we got all of the moments right at the front. Right. You know what I mean? And then the rest of it was very like,
well, this one I was sold because I love Katie Sackhoff. I love her in almost everything she does. And then the other Mandalorian is WWE superstar Sasha Banks. So I was like, I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where I was like, Sasha Banks, like, where I was pointing at the TV.
You were really excited about that last week. I remember we were talking about. So that's really cool, man. Mandalorian season 2, episode 3. What are you expecting for the rest of this season? By the way, I told you, I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like we were gonna pick this episode up, and he's still gonna have the frog person with him, or the toad, whatever the lizard person.
Yeah, we were wrong. We were both wrong, right? Didn't you say it was gonna be resolved by the time this one starts?
Right, but then I was like, knowing this show, they're gonna fuck with us, and it's still gonna be a thing, and I was like, gosh, like, but it's cool because it gave us more of a reason for that character to like be there. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, phenomenal, man. I'm really excited about the rest of the season. And so how many episodes? Do we know how many episodes are going to be in this season?
Probably 8.
Was that how many was in the last? Gosh, such a short show. We wait weeks. Like, it feels like it's going on forever, and it's just such a short show. But very cool. Do you got anything else you want to add about The Mandalorian, man?
No, man.
Very cool. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go over the books that you guys need to look out for this week. Today, if you're listening to this on release day, it is Wednesday the 18th, my dudes. And, of course, Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. And always. I guess now, technically, Tuesday is when DC new comics come out. But Wednesday is still New Comic Book Day, so fuck off. But there are a lot of really cool comic books out, man. Starting today, call your local comic shop, get some reserves, start a pull list, for Christ's sake. Start a pull list. Batman 103, big book, Clown Hunter versus Ghostmaker. That's something that we've been waiting for here for a while, man. Dark Knights, Death Metal 5. Finally, I was organizing all my new comic books together, and I was doing all my Death Metal, and there's like 18 books or something like that, or 15 books already released, and we still have 10 to go or something like that. So Jesus. But Dark Knights Death Metal 5, still a good story, man. I'm enjoying every bit of it, and I think you guys, if you haven't been reading it already, get on it, because the tie-ins honestly are the best part. Rorschach 2, Tom King is writing the Rorschach comic, and it's a 12-part miniseries. Number 2 comes out. Number 1 was a mind fuck, so go ahead and jump in that. Something is Killing the Children 12 by the great James Tynion IV. Joker Harley 6, Black Label book from DC, very phenomenal story. Kind of ready for this to be over, because with COVID and all the delays, this has been going on for like a year now, and they're only on book 6, and I think it's either 9 or 12. And then Barbalian Red Planet. If you guys know Jeff Lemire's work and you guys know Black Hammer in that universe, Barbalian is kind of the spoof version of Martian Manhunter, and this is the solo book that he's doing. I think it's a mini series that is going to be explaining what it was like for Barbalian showing up on like where he came from on Mars, what it was like on Mars, and what it's like now for him coming in to Earth, or how he got here. Actually, I don't know. Just go get it. Jeff Lemire's one of the best writers out there for comics, I think. So pick it up. But that is the end of our show, folks, and I want to thank you guys so much once again for listening. If you listened all the way through, if you're here, that means you did, because we're coming up to the hour mark. And man, I love that we're keeping these shows now within like an hour area. We get some good talks in, getting to learn some new fun shit, and I love it. Please follow us. I know I ask this every week. I'm going to continue to ask it every week. Follow us on social media, the Bat in the Hat Podcast on Facebook, and then Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Bat Hat Pod. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Give us whatever. Share our posts around. Let people know that we're out there, and let them know that you are enjoying this program. And if you can, on whether it's Spotify, I don't remember if Spotify has ratings or not, but Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcast, whatever you're on, give us a rating, man. Give us a rating and write something nice about us. It's just going to help the show progress, and let other people, because the more you guys rate it and like our shit, the algorithm's going to push it out to more people. So thank you guys so much. Matt had to run, but I'm going to do this outro myself. And please hit us up, send us DMs, comment on our shit for anything that you want to discuss about this episode. But I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.